One challenge of indoor gardening is making sure plants always have enough water. However, creating one indoors is still a clever way to enjoy a water-efficient garden. To be specific, creating a dry garden. In detail next, we'll discuss 10 dry garden ideas for a small indoor area that you can easily copy or tweak according to your space and style. As always, Simphome presents you with the countdown. Number 10. Succulent boxes on the wall idea. Having a wall of succulent gardens is both picturesque and charming. Interested? Here are the steps to follow. First, prepare the planters. You can use old photo frames or create new boxes. If you choose frames, you can add a shadow box frame, giving you more space for the roots to spread. Cover the inside of the box using plastic to prevent it from getting rotten. Then fill it using damp moss. The next step is stapling wire mesh to the box so the moss stays firmly inside. When the planters are ready to use, take your collection of succulents. Prune the roots so you can plant them through the wire effortlessly. Use your finger to dig the moss and put a piece of succulent. Fill the box with your selection and let them lay flat for several days to take root before hanging them on your wall. Number 9. A collection of Staghorn ferns idea. Despite its seeming frailty, Staghorn fern makes a remarkable addition to any indoor garden. On the other hand, installation is simple and requires little in the way of tools. Here is a step-by-step of how to mount them to your wall. Choose sturdy and proportionate boards to support the plants. Draw a circle in a location where you want to mount your staghorn. Then tack nails evenly around the perimeter of the circle. Next, place the root ball inside your circle. Cover its root with moss. The last step is securing the plants to the board by weaving a fishing line around the moss using the nail line. Add twine to the back of the board. Your staghorn board is now ready to decorate your wall. Number 8. Let this cute turtle take over your attention. Yes, succulents can indeed boost your mood. Anyway, instead of just sticking it in a pot and calling it good, why don't you make a cool turtle out of it instead? Take 4 pots of the same size and put them upside down. They will be the turtle legs. Fill a hanging basket with moss, then place it on top of them. Shape a chicken wire into a turtle's head and attach it to the basket. Now it's time to fill the space with succulents. Arrange different kinds and sizes of succulents that make them look like a turtle shell. Cover the head and legs completely using green moss. Number 7. Turn an old tire into a planter table. You'll need a tire, rope, circular board, table legs, artificial succulents, and craft moss to duplicate the project. Start with the tire, board, and legs by attaching them with screws. To do your job easily, put the circle at the bottom. Use a glue gun to stick one rope's end around the board's perimeter. Wind and adhere the rope around the tire until it's completely covered. Turn the table, fill the tire's opening with craft moss, and arrange the faux plants. You can load the tire with bubble wrap or sawdust below the craft moss to reduce the expenses. Finish it by laying a round glass on top of it. Number 6. A miniature Zen garden on your coffee table. If you're not lucky enough with plants, this idea should be on your list. Using natural elements, a Zen garden is pretty simple to make without having the responsibility of watering a plant. Moreover, after the project is done, you'll have a functional coffee table and leg rest too when no one is around. First, your task is to build the center box of the table. Then attach the table legs to the box. After that, install the top. Make sure that you measured it right. When all the parts have been assembled, sand to remove any lumps, then apply a couple of coats of stain until you get the color you want. The last step is creating the rock garden using sand and small stones. Number 5. Another worth-stealing terrarium idea. Most of you must think of a glass bowl when you hear about a terrarium. It is a fantastic interior piece, but you can go further by turning a coffee table into one. Follow these steps to have your own terrarium table. Firstly, remove the tabletop and add a grow box inside the table legs. Layer it with waterproof materials or use a pond shell. Then load the box's bottom part with clay balls, then layer it with moss and horticultural charcoal. Thirdly, make planting holes and put the plants in them. Moisten the plants with water and replace the glass top. Number 4. Repurpose a bar cart. Once again, it's time to repurpose your unused furniture into something dramatic. This bar cart, for example, is a great planter for a succulent garden. If you have a bar cart at home, take it outside, clean it thoroughly, and coat it with waterproof paint. Once the coating is dried, arrange different sizes of bottles in the lower part. Fill the remaining area with moss. Then plant masses of succulents in it. Use small glasses as a pot for small plants and place them on top. Number 3. Burst more color with bulbs. You might want some blooms to brighten the interior of your house. Growing bulbs is an option you can choose. If you like this idea, opt for tender bulbs like amaryllis, begonia tubers, or cyclamen corns. Once you've selected your flowers, it's time to pick their containers. Then add a small amount of gravel at the bottom. Set the bulbs on the gravel and add soil to the container. Water it regularly. Don't let it be too moist or too dry though. Where you place the plant determines the size of your flower and container. Number 2. A Wreath of Tillandsia. Tillandsia is known for its ability to take water from the humidity in the air. There are many ways to create hanging Tillandsia, and one is by making a wreath. You only need 3 materials: a base wreath, Tillandsia, and something to attach them. You can choose how to assemble them among these 3 methods. Method 1. Use a fishing line to tie the plants to the base. Weave the line around your plants to make them stay firmly. However, this might hurt the plants. Method 2 is gluing the plant to the base. Since the plants are bulky, glue both the plants and the base. The last method is using its own root to anchor the plants. Weave the roots around the base. Tie a knot here and there. Before we complete the countdown with our final choice of the cart list, we'd like to inform you that if you need other improvement ideas, you have Simp-Home content collections on your side. There we cover other interesting topics such as garden, home improvement, finance, bathroom upgrade, bedroom update ideas, and many more. We'll see you there, and until we meet again sometime in the future, let's close our countdown with number 1. Desert in an aquarium. For a cactus fan, you ought to try this. You can adore their beauty while being careful of their spikes. Although it needs some effort to build, you will be satisfied with the result. Now pick your spot to build this cactus aquarium. If you want it sturdier, create it using brick or concrete. But if you're going to remodel it easily, use several boards to make the base. Once you've made the base, fill it with sand and gravel. Leave some holes to plant the cactus. After that, sit the cactus inside and anchor them with soil. The last step is installing the glass to complete the aquarium desert. Make sure to leave some space to water them. That's it for now. Before you leave this presentation, we'd like to appreciate every second you spend watching the video. If we deserve more of your attention in the future, press the subscribe button if you haven't done it already. Like the video if you believe it will motivate the YouTube algorithm to push the video to more people. Honestly though, it's more like a myth to us, so feel free to move on with your plan after the video ends. Lastly, we hope you have great luck with your health and project. See you again soon.